Hello everyone, this is DavidViadel23 and welcome to the Mandrago's Cave. Today we are gonna be drawing Alethrion challenge and this is the last video, okay? So I've been doing a monthly challenge connected to the story of Tales of Alethrion. I'm gonna put all the links in the show more section down below. And basically during the month of November I put here 4 videos to kind of update you so you see the progress that we are having during this comic, this story that we are making for the Alethrion challenge, okay? And there's still a couple of days left for the end of the month. So the story will continue and will finish in Instagram, that you're gonna have the Instagram in the show more section as well, that you can check all the drawings. All the drawings have a little bit of writing, so you can follow what is actually happening or what is the intention of what is happening. How this is just a prompt challenge that we are limited by words, and I only wanted to do 1 drawing per day. I had no time to do more or do like a page, like a comic, more vignettes, more panels. Maybe there's jumps in between scenes. This is something that maybe at some point, if I want, I can just fill the gaps, okay? But the whole idea is that we have a nice story here and you can follow it, okay? And feel free as well to tell me what do you think about this, if you want to see more things like this here on YouTube and as well on Instagram, okay, because I'm always having a nice time drawing them, okay. So the prompt for today is boss. So finally we reached to the point that we are gonna see the face of the bad guy. To put you a little bit in context, and you can see here on the side, we are in a moment where our main character, the Horned Hound, transformed into a humanized form because he was in contact with a potion, with a liquid, okay? Because of this transformation, he is now looking more human. Here he is kneeling because he fell from the ceiling through a portal on top of a Cyclops in the previous one and basically killed him. So now he's kind of trying to standing up and he sees in contact with boss that is here, that he lost boss at the beginning of the story, and the boss was kidnapped by this shadow, this bad guy, okay? So they are kind of here like, hey, oh, and they find each other, okay, in this kind of tunnel vision, like nothing else is important apart from what is happening here, okay? So now with boss here, it makes sense that we go into a moment to define the shape of this character. I have an idea of what I want to do. I've been thinking a lot about the bad guy. I had multiple options. I had various creatures I wanted to portray here, but I think it makes sense for me what I want to do, and because I've been watching certain movies as well lately. For me, it makes sense that it is gonna be this. You will see in a second, okay? So, our character, I want him to be the same guy that we have here, okay? So the Horned Hound, but in another adventure, okay? Let's say in my mind, my idea is, let's say there was this other adventurers, other guy riding, because this Horned Hound, it's a mount, it's like a horse, like a bull, like something that the main character, the boss, is riding across the plains, okay, in the travels. So I want to make it like something like in a parallel reality or parallel time. For this, there's been another Horned Hound, maybe it's himself, who basically lost his boss, went in the underground, went into the dungeons to recover the boss, and he wasn't lucky, he couldn't manage. Kind of making like this some sort of a loop, basically. In my fantasy, science fiction mind, trying to do something like this. So what I want to do here is take the original character, the initial character that I have, the animal form, and making it a little bit more. First we need to do a base here, okay, like this. We need to do a base, but I want to make him a little bit more, let's say, ugly, in the sense of we are going to have maybe some pieces of hair here and there, maybe not fully mane like a lion. He's gonna have the horns are broken, for example, and the whole time I'm showing like kind of tiny horns here. There were in this dungeon that we have been exploring during this month, we have found various creatures, some vampires amongst these creatures, and I was thinking as well to do like a vampire type of story. It could be as well that this guy, because he didn't transform into a humanoid 100% form like our guy, we can make him, he transform into some sort of vampire creature as well, okay? To follow the storyline, like why there is a vampire there. There is as well a Sphinx, there is a Cyclops, there are multiple monsters that I have been using as a reference from my previous Alethrion Challenge 2024, that I'm gonna put the link here, so you can click there and see all the creatures that I created for that drawing challenge last year, okay? I think it's interesting as well if you are able to see the whole progress of the videos. So probably I put here as well the playlist where I have these 4 videos together, and you can watch one after another to fill the gaps, okay? To fill the gaps. But so far I wanna make this guy like another creature, less hair, maybe like a barn or something here, you know, like a cot. Like he is damaged, he has passed through some experiences, and probably because this guy has magic, we have seen him how he's able to disintegrate and float with the air, with the breeze, and disappear, and as well taking with him the kidnapped boss in this story, making him as well disappear. So there is some magic to the character. So we are gonna attribute this to the concept of fantasy, to the concept of vampire, to the concept of the potion, to the concept of parallel realities in this sense, okay? And this is gonna be what we are gonna do. Maybe I can make him humanoid as well, but the face didn't change, okay? Maybe he is trying to be. It will make sense if we make him dressed. He is frustrated because he didn't have a full transformation. I'm trying to be the character, I'm trying to be the mind of the character. So this is something that you have to do if you are starting to create characters, if you're starting to create your own stories. This is something that you have to ask yourself. You're gonna make a comic book illustration, you're gonna do a book, you're gonna do a video game, anything that you're gonna do that it has a story, it has characters, you need to question and you need to ask why is like this, okay? So to have context basically, okay? So like this, I wanna make him trying to be dressed, okay? So he's kind of have like a similar style because he's in this type of era. We're gonna make him probably, he had this kind of pelushy type of hands with the nails in the previous show when he appeared and when he paralyzed the boss and like petrified him like in Harry Potter and then took him out of the plains into this dungeon. We have this moment, okay? So I wanna make the cage at the moment in this previous image, as you can see here, we have him inside the cage, okay? I wanna kind of make him like cocky in the sense of look what I got. So probably he's showing him like this, you know, like see, this is something like this. This is my guy now, okay? I couldn't save my guy, so I'm taking your guy, and you're not gonna be able to recover it. So basically, it's kind of being a little bit cocky there, okay? Maybe I could even do the door, that the door is open, like this, okay? So we have him like this, and then maybe this is in shadow to focus in our guy. This is gonna be dark. Maybe he doesn't even have ears because he didn't transform fully, okay? So he's just half broken like this, okay? As well, feel free to suggest ideas for the story as well. Obviously, this character, this vignette, this panel, it is gonna have its own writing as well, its own small story, but for the context, we can make the guy as well here. It's like a chimera type of character, what I created originally, that you are able to see it in that video I put there, and you're gonna be able to see it as well at the beginning of this story. In Instagram, is like a mixed creature, and I mixed dog, lion, human, snake, like a chimera type of character, where we have the tail is bad. So maybe this one is gonna be bad. I want to do the fangs here like a vampire type of teeth, okay? For the context, again. Maybe this cloak is a little bit broken, even if it was looking very clean, but it was from far, very like straight and clean, like a shadow. But here, we can do like this. I want to make him kind of inviting, like, you see, look at this. It's kind of saying, mine, this is mine now. To understand that he couldn't transform properly, or that to understand that he couldn't basically, just in one image, trying to convey this in one image, just to represent that he couldn't maybe save his boss, we could make here the head of the previous one. I know it's very bizarre and very morbid, but we could play with that idea, like with voodoo and things like this, or like in Pirates of the Caribbean, when Jack Sparrow meets his father and is asking, oh, how is mom? And then he has the shrink head of the mother with him as a token, as a memory, and something like this, it can be very interesting. So I think it can be good if maybe we make him here, and we make here this little, kind of like a sachet, like a bag, but it is gonna be like this. We want to keep kind of similar style. We're gonna even leave the glasses here. Like to understand that there is a parallelism between this guy and this one, and this one, and the other one. That now we are being the horned hound. We are looking at our enemy, our rival, our selves from another reality, from the past, from the future. We don't know. That's not clear yet, okay? So, to create here a little bit of tension, okay, this needs to be smaller, needs to be more or less this size, okay? Like he's surprised that he's been found, he couldn't escape basically. We don't know what type of traveler our boss, this one, is yet, because we haven't seen him doing things. Initially I wanted to follow this story, but the prompts give me this kind of path in where the Hornhound was the protagonist, the main character of the story basically, and the boss was more like the treasure, like the character that we are gonna rescue, okay, our prize, our reward at the end of the story. So I wanted to go into that line. So we can make him like here, okay. He's kind of happy, like, oh my god, he's letting me go, I can't believe it, you know, a little bit with the ignorance of, I don't know what's going on. Or maybe he could even be here looking happy, could be even looking at him better, like happy, like, oh my god, is he actually gonna let me go? And we can play with this, okay. Should we actually make some sort of like symbol here? I think we should do some sort of symbol here. I'm just thinking. It makes sense for me that if we try to do here an explanation, we have this guy here, this tiny head here, that out of context you may not understand what's happening. You may think that he's collecting people, because this head is a little bit more shrinked and ugly there. We wanted to have it like that. But what if I draw, it could be interesting. We're gonna make this. These two guys are gonna be, okay. This is boss. Like this, or maybe see, this kind of representation is being a little bit tricky, because I want to make maybe the other face here that is gonna represent the other guy as well, that are looking the same, because probably they are the same in different realities. We can change maybe the color of something. Maybe the beard could be blue, for example, and here as well we could slightly maybe do some greens, for example, to change the color. Like this, maybe this hair is a little bit longer, okay, a little bit more rough, let's say like this. It could be interesting. He's kind of looking like nice, no? Like he's not looking for trouble. But what we want to do is save our boss here and get out of here. So basically, he's trying to explain. Maybe he's not like a bad guy, okay? But we want him to be a bad guy, probably. So this is the process, basically, okay? The process is questioning how are we going to make the story? Why is this going to be like this? Okay, and what can we do to make it interesting? Do we want to... If this was a live recording, the questions would be, maybe in the chat would be, do we want to make him good? Do we want to make him bad? What type of fight is going to happen here? If it is going to be a fight, for example, what are we going to see here? Okay, so let's see, we have this, we have this, we have this. Now we have this, like a vignette here. Okay, he's trying to communicate some things. And then maybe he's confused, maybe he has some sort of shock after in this unknown world, because he took over the dungeon from the other monster that it's aberration, like the tunnels, and he transformed these tunnels into a more elegant or more like believable kind of castle or living spaces, okay? So maybe he is confused in the sense of he happened to come to this area, he happened to find this guy or was looking for his boss, okay, and found this guy that looks pretty similar, but actually is like a little bit like in Back to the Future, okay, that you go back and forth and you see yourself and you can try to avoid the interaction, to not mess with the timeline, basically. Something in that line, okay? So this is something that probably I want to explore a little bit. I got it. We do not draw boss, but we draw only the other guy. Okay, and maybe we don't do this. We don't do this, and he thinks that this one is his boss, but it is not his boss actually, okay? So, but this is very interesting as well. This is maybe interesting as well. Maybe he's kind of like having some sort of shock, you know? So, we need to make this guy, obviously different, and for that, here we can play with the colors. It's gonna be the same type of drawing, maybe a little bit longer hair, like this, a little bit longer beard, maybe, like this. But maybe we can paint it blue, for example. It can look very interesting if we go for some sort of blue, okay? The eye is just like a dot, like kind of he's locked in looking at the other him, okay? Maybe he doesn't even recognize that it's himself, but in another type of timeline, basically, because this guy actually changed and it looks more like humanoid, okay? So humanized type of character. So let's see how this can work. I think it's very interesting. I'm still thinking about if this one should stay here or no, okay? I'm still thinking about that. He didn't do anything bad in 20 pages. Maybe he is not gonna do anything bad here. I don't know. I need to think about this head here, okay? But in the meantime, I can start doing the line work. And as usual for this project, I'm using the Pigma Micron 005, very thin tip. This is the Sakura brand, the black edition, very interesting edition because I am enjoying it a lot. The fine liners are very delicate and I'm enjoying it a lot, okay? So let's do our wrong boss. Is not the one that he is trying to find, but he's confused, you know, he's confused. Maybe he's just a confused traveler trying to find his way. Maybe there is no a bad guy as such, okay? This can open possibilities if I want to continue the story later, in the sense of how did he arrive here? Are there other horned hounds from different timelines that they look different? Maybe one is more like cowboy, one is more future, one is more vampire, one is more rough, one is more zombie. Like we can explore different stories. I think I like that more because if I make him like a bad guy and I want to continue this story in the future, my limitations here would be, is there gonna be the same? Is this gonna be the same type of a story, that there's another time traveler type of guy who came here and we need to defeat him? But if it is a guy, maybe we can make him like this. You see the eye a little bit bigger. The eye a little bit bigger, okay. Like this. Okay, like a little bit more innocent maybe. I think I like it more like this, a little bit more innocent. And, you know, he looks rough, like he's been traveling. Maybe the clothes are a little bit ragged as well, you know. Like this, he can be pads here and there, okay, and then this is gonna be the paw, because he doesn't have arms as such, he has just like a paw. Here maybe we don't do thumb either, let's do just 3. How many I've done in the previous one? I think I've done 3, yes. Let me see, yes, it was 3 plus 1 at the other side that we don't see from here, okay? So feel free to send me some suggestions as well in the comment section, following and knowing what is happening here. Feel free to tell me as well what would you like to see here more. What would you like for the characters to experience, let's see, in this story. And yeah, the boots, we can make it straight so it's slightly different from the other guy's boots. Okay, some hair here on the side, some hair maybe here, a little bit here and there, you know, without making it regular. Like here, for example, on this side. Here we made like a heat or like a burn as well. A little bit here, it's a little bit more rough, basically. Okay, and then unexpectedly, we have this guy. I think I'm gonna go for the good guy option. I like it more, the good guy option. I understand you may prefer to see him bad, but as I said, if I make him like a good guy, like a traveler in time and in this timeline, for example, it is interesting to see maybe other horned hounds from other times. It can be interesting. The snake here, it can be a little bit different as well, like maybe some hairs here. It can have some teeth as well. This is all entirely up to you. Sometimes it doesn't have to make sense. It is something that you want to draw. The stories are something that you can try to guess, like we do with the One Piece videos. That if you don't know about One Piece, or if you don't know that I do One Piece theories, I'm gonna put here a playlist as well, so you can see the other half of the channel that is One Piece focused. And what is gonna be whatever the author wants or whatever the author feels at that point. Okay, so maybe because I've been watching these movies, I thought it can be interesting for me to do something like that, okay, with a character that it looks similar to the main guy, to see what is happening here. I have to say as well, and this is very important, this is something that we learn in art school and university as well, and in school and in college. An art piece, like let's say a drawing, a painting, a sculpture, anything that you may think, like music piece as well. For me and for many artists, it is finished when another person, an external person, not yourself, interprets what is happening here. And this is something as well that you can see in the comic strips, in the newspaper, or when you are reading a comic that it has no text, for example. In Tales of Alethrion, this is something, in my opinion, as well important. By not adding conversations, dialogues, they open as well the expressions of the characters to be interpreted. Maybe for you felt that Vito, for example, when they were arguing, he felt like this way, but maybe it doesn't actually pan in that way for another viewer, and another viewer thinks, maybe it's not that bad, maybe they are gonna talk later, maybe this and that. So I think with this type of stories, it is interesting. It is interesting if you, as a viewer, as a reader, as an observer, interpret what's happening here. Okay, once this is finished, without reading the text I'm gonna put later. That is my own take. What do you think is happening here? Or if you interpret it in another way, okay? You can put it in the comment section as well, that for me this drawing is not representing that. For me this drawing is representing something else, okay? And it is totally valid, okay? Let's draw this. Maybe I just want to make him a little bit like worried and sad, like, oh my god, what is happening here? Like this. Because he is powerless here, okay? I wanted originally him to to have some sort of magic powers as well, to be some sort of a wizard as well. We can still do that, but maybe he's out of his depth because he doesn't want to use his techniques probably with this guy, because maybe he thinks that this guy is the Hornhound. You know, the confusion. There is a confusion. There is a strange things happening here, and none of them knows who is the real one, who is the fake one, what is happening here, what I am here actually, and it can be interesting. Okay, all of this is storytelling, character development, okay, world building. If you want to add different worlds, different scenes, okay, like this. The hands are a little bit clunky today, but it is what it is. We do some of these posts at the back as well, but I think something like in this line, I like it. I like it. And as you can see, just so you understand what is happening with this challenge, I am doing a drawing per day, trying to not check the prompt for tomorrow, like we've done with Inktober. I'm trying to see if by drawing like this, I'm able to come up with a story like we are doing now. So every day is my thought is like this. It's like I'm thinking, should I do it like this? Should I do it like that? I'm talking to the paper. I'm talking with the characters. I'm trying to find what they need or what the story needs. I'm drawing something, and maybe by mistake I can do a little triangle that later I can think, oh, it's going to be teeth because it's going to be vampire connected to the other one. So trying to make a context, trying to make a world for all of this that is happening. This is something that can boost your creativity. I 100% recommend and I advise that if you like to draw, or if you don't like to draw and you want to start, I have some videos here as well to guide you in your beginnings and start this journey. But I'm kind of advising this because it is very interesting and it can give you a lot of creativity boost. Okay. So now I wanna jump into color. I've been using this £1 set of color pencils, no brand, no anything. I just found in a random store, and it is good for this. It is a very thin type of color. You don't see a lot of color going into the paper. Okay, I am enjoying it because I normally use something that is more soft and I can blend the colors a little bit, but this is interesting. This is at least interesting. Okay, I want to use some kind of, I want to showcase him like he's a little bit, you know, he suffered a little bit, you know, we want to make him a little bit interesting in the sense of, yeah, this guy suffered some sort of experiment, or it is not looking exactly like the other guy, you know. That's why I want to use some sort of greens here like this, okay, to define some lines. Probably I'm gonna go for a yellow color. The yellow color can match very nice with this type of green, like more kind of fluorescent type of green, or this kind of a warm type of green. So I have this yellow. Let's see if it is, yes, it is quite pale. I think we can go for this. To kind of create a contrast, like even if they are looking the same, and the characters are different, okay? Okay, like this. The hands. This guy is basically contaminated, let's say, okay? We kind of, in the current timeline here, we look, our main guy looks humanoid, type of humanoid, and but he doesn't want to be, so maybe he should start thinking how to come back to reality, to normality. But all of them can be different, okay? All of them can be a little bit different. So I want to make, oops, broke there. I wanted to do this area here, and to define clearly what we were talking before about, they look the same, but they are not the same. And we are gonna play with the colors. Okay, I am gonna make the hair, in this case, blue, like this. Okay, the hair is gonna be blue. We can do the skin as well with the same tone like here, but the hair is gonna be blue. I like the story that we have created here. I like the concept of what's happening in general. Okay, we could even make maybe use another type of blue to create like the jumper, so we see that both characters are wearing the jumper that we have here in the current timeline, in this present timeline, is a type of, you know, like olive type of color. And then the shirt, yes, the shirt is blue like this here. So maybe he may have thought, oh my god, this is my guy, this is my boss, I'm gonna take him. And he paralyzed him, he moved him, because is this guy already traveling other realities, and he, with these portals that we have found, these portals, and because of this, for example, because of this, he's not asking anymore. He's so tired of trying to find his boss that he's not asking anymore. He's just, if it looks like my boss, I'm gonna take him, and later I will figure out if he is the correct one or not. And he kind of naively, he thinks that yes, he is, but he's not actually. Okay, I know this may be a little bit of a headache, but we are making stories, we are making storytelling here, and we need to think how this is gonna end up, how this is gonna pan, basically. Okay, so we're making here a little bit of the trousers. We don't need to draw the whole lower body. We can just make like here, because we're gonna shade it a little bit. Okay, like this. Maybe even the glasses can be a little bit like this. Okay, interesting, like kind of playful and different, like they come from another place. Okay, when you use this type of colors, I find it very interesting, like for example in Futurama, that they use different colors for the characters, for the aliens, for example, for the robots, for example, for everything. And we have as well characters like in Doug, I think it's like a cartoon, like a couple of years old cartoon, like maybe like 20-25 years old minimum. And I find it interesting, so I think it could be nice to use different type of colors, and to test as well some of these colors as well that we haven't tested here. Let's see. Probably I'm thinking as well that this guy may have taken over the dungeon and hired a lot of guys that they look like misfits, they look like him, they don't look like a standard, like the normal guys. They are a little bit more monstrous, let's say, like the vampire, like the Cyclops. All of these guys are out of the ordinary. You don't see Cyclops around all the time, you don't see vampires around all the time. As well, funny thing that I've been doing with this project is trying to use characters. Okay, so there is an image halfway through the story where we are in a crowd of people listening to a bard sing, and our horned hound is coming on top of the stage trying to find his boss unsuccessfully. And there is a tiny vampire on the left, and there is an adventurer on the right that I used later for a scene where a vampire is trying to convert or convince or trap these guys in this dungeon. So was that vampire a vampire leader scouting the area, sending some smaller vampires to gather recruits, let's say, to find this one, to find this guy better or faster? Maybe it could be very interesting. So this is creating a story basically. This is me trying to open my possibilities, and if tomorrow, when I finish the story at the end of the month, let's say in a couple of months' time, I decide to, why not continuing this, or why not adding some frames, some drawings in between to showcase better what I wanted to represent, it could be interesting. Let's not forget that this guy is a vampire too, so probably he is the boss. He is the boss of this coven of vampires, this group of vampires, and yeah, let's do a little bit of ground here. Okay. Yeah, something like this. I like it. Each time I'm looking at it, I'm liking it more and more. Let's do a little bit of orange here as well. I'm gonna add some dark colors as well in a moment. I wanna do the vampire cape with black. So for this, why not go for the thicker pen I have, that is the 08, to do this. Okay. I'm trying to do this in the same direction all the time, so I think I want to... We don't need to do that, we can just paint it normal like this. Okay. Let's see. I love to paint areas in black like this, you know, like to have a cape, to have boots, to have hair that I can just start adding the shapes like this. Now there's gonna be a lot of contrast between one and the other, because this is very strong and the other one is a little bit more pale for this for the colors. Okay, but what we will do later is with the black Faber-Castell, that I use that one a lot. We will add some shadows to this character, some darkness to the character, okay, to make it a little bit more integrated with the other one. You will see in a moment. Okay. I want to see if you have been participating in the Alethrion challenge, or if you have been following these videos and these drawings I've been doing, and you have been drawing your own adventure following this story. I would love to see what have you done with your characters, with your story. So feel free to show me in the show more section, in the comment section, what is your story, what is your project, what is your Tales of Alethrion drawings, and if you have decided to go for something like me, like, you know, creatures, monsters and things like that, and rescue someone, or you have done just a typical D&D campaign where the characters go into the dungeon, they fight some kind of creatures, they get some gold, some coins, something, and then they escape. That is totally valid as well. I am always up for a nice chat and see what kind of storytelling you have in your drawings and in your prompts, and yeah, so I invite you to put your YouTube channel as well there, or your Instagram, so we can have a look and we can check and we can talk about what you are doing at the moment as well. That can be very interesting, very nice. Okay. Let's talk. This is looking very good. I like it. I like the proposal. I like this alien type of tones that we decided to go for, because it's giving it like a change. Like, we see that they are the same guys, but they are different. Why are they different? Okay, the question that you may have been asking us as a viewer, maybe, oh, maybe they are aliens. Maybe they are from another planet, you know, maybe they are from another time. If I would have done them like cowboy looking, straight away we can talk about timelines. We can talk about time travel. If doing them like this, more alien, we can, yes, talk about that, but on top of that, talk about extraterrestrial life, UFOs, you know, everything alien type of. Are these guys? Maybe. From a parallel planet where everything is happening the same like here, but maybe more bad, like in a more sad way. It could be as well. Like some of these stories, when they show you these post-apocalyptic scenarios, is because something went wrong and everything got messed up, and you see this kind of Mad Max, for example, or you see a little bit now with the with the Fallout series from the video game as well, this kind of monsters or ghouls or zombification type of characters created because, you know, there's contamination, and ideas as well from Marvel and taking references from other worlds, like other characters. You travel to another planet and the guy is gonna be gray, blue, you know, it's gonna have multiple heads, things like this. Okay, so be open when creating stories to push the limits of your imagination. There is no reason for you to be modest in the sense of, oh, this character shouldn't be green. Why shouldn't be green? Okay, if you are a One Piece fan like me, you may know that the size of the characters, how tall they are or how chunky they are, is quite like a trademark of One Piece. Okay, as an example, let's see Whitebeard, that is a very big guy. Within the proportions of a normal guy, he is massive, like a giant basically. Okay, and the thing is, I had a conversation years ago, and it was like, oh, you know, it can't be that a guy is that big. Why shouldn't that be? I mean, within my story, within someone's story, you can create the rules, okay, in your fantasy. If you are trying to do something realistic, obviously you are limited by the reality. But if you are trying to do a fantasy story, a science fiction story, you have like a wild card there to create anything that you want. Okay, like if my guy here is gonna be looking like green, looking like rotten, looking like an alien or something, yes, it can be. Why not? Okay, this is something as well that you can find, for example, when creating superpowers. Okay, or your characters are gonna have a specific power, and you can create a little bit of sense in your, let's say, power system. Let's say I'm gonna use the elements like fire, water, etc. to have that as a base. So all of the characters that are bad are gonna use fire, like in the last Airbender, for example, okay, with Aang and everything. So the bad guys are gonna be the Fire Nation, and then the good guys are gonna be the water guys, you know, and they can control these powers because they come from these clans. It works. Maybe you wanna use your I don't know, maybe you are a very horoscope fan and you wanna go for the horoscope, and each one of the positions in the horoscope, or the animals in the horoscope, for example, they will represent a clan, and these clans are gonna have particularity of the animal. For example, if this is the lion, it's gonna be the lion. I'm saying just random animals. It's gonna be the dog, it's gonna be the dog. It's gonna be the dragon, it's gonna be the dragon. So you create the rules of your own worlds, okay? And when you go into the industry and you work for someone, let's say that you have your studies in concept art and you end up working for, I don't know, Lucasfilm, and that all of this now belongs to Disney, no? And you are on the team creating characters, creating a story, creating a world there, and they say, oh, you know, we need a alien race that we're gonna put in this random planet who is gonna fight the Mandalorian because blah blah blah. And then you, as a creative, because you have seen this video, because you know that everything is allowed within the rules of Star Wars, you can see examples of different races from different planets and start thinking how to do your own race that you're going to invent for this new series, for this new Disney Plus special type of thing, okay? Or why your characters, let's say, in your new series behave in one way or in another. That is very very interesting. That is what I like from the stories. Like that's what I like to think. Okay, I was talking with a colleague the other day, and he was doing a game, and we were brainstorming about how the game has to have a reason, and how if there is a weapon that the main guy is using, the main character is using, it has to have a reason. It has to have a style. Why is like this? From where is this coming? Who has given this weapon to the guy? Etc. 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 Okay. As you can see, we are drawing traditional here, and when drawing traditional, mistakes can happen, like this smudge I just done here. I'm gonna show you something that I use every day that I forgot to bring it here to the table now. But yeah, just went and grabbed it. So this is just extra paper. This is just simply like a normal extra paper I have next to me. So when I am coloring or when I am line work here and there, I have my hand on top of it. Okay, so I just draw while having the hand there, and then I move it a little bit so I don't smush the things around. Okay, this is something good practice for when you are drawing traditional, especially if the tools, the materials that you are using are a little bit smushy, that you can just move the hand and make a mess. Just be careful with those things as well. There needs to be errors and there needs to be mistakes for the magic to happen and for you to learn as well. Okay, this is a little bit of practice, and while practicing you will learn your own needs. Okay, maybe you are very delicate, like in Japanese calligraphy, that they don't put the hand there, they put only one finger. Maybe they're able to draw like this, or when they are painting some very nice designs for the cars on the sides, like tuning for the cars, that they just do it freehand like this. Maybe you don't need, but even those guys have a support of another. They have maybe like a little bit of a. They have like a stick. I don't know exactly the name. If there is one of these artists here, and you can say what's the name of the tool. This is just like I see it like a stick. Then they put the hand there to do the line. Painters as well, traditional painters, painters that you can go to the museum, like famous, that you can see how they. And they have these beautiful, hyper-realistic portraits of people or environments and everything. You see as well in some documentation and in some drawings themselves as well, and some paintings that they have as well these kind of sticks. The stick is for you to put it against the wall, put your hand there, so you have a little bit of support there. Okay, so explore during your journey, during your art journey. What are the things that work the best for you? Okay, like for me is this piece of paper here. And allow yourself to do mistakes. Sometimes we are too focused in doing everything perfect and doing everything perfect on the first round that we forget about the process. Allow yourself to learn, to create stories, and even if you are experienced already and by any chance you are watching this video, allow yourself to do mistakes every now and then, because from mistakes we can find nice opportunities. We can do a line that we weren't expecting, that it is gonna give us the reason of our character later on. Okay, obviously there are some projects that you can't allow yourself to have a mistake or an extra different thing. Like, let's say, for example, just so you understand, I want you to understand the concept. Okay, let's say that you are a freelance and you are drawing a cover for a book, and by chance you do one eye bigger than the other, by mistake, and then you can have, is this gonna make sense for the story? Yes. And you can talk with the author, and I done this one, but I think it makes sense. Good, it's okay, it's not a problem actually, because I actually visualize the character with one eye bigger than the other. Okay, that's good. But then if they say no, then you can change it as a freelance, for example. If it is a project for yourself, then you can allow 100% to do all these mistakes, because You can decide to not post it, you can decide to do another pass, you can decide to change some things later and redraw it. 100% allowed to do all of these things. But then you are working, let's say, for a Disney movie in a pipeline that you are working in a chain. Someone is going to give you a character that is already done, it's already drawn, it's already modeled, and you need to animate it, you need to redraw it, you need to add I don't know, like a cape to the character because you are doing props. Anything can be. But in that sense, you cannot make the character different. You cannot make the character different because after you, that character is going to be given to, let's say, an animator to move, and it needs to be, all of them, they need to be the same. You can't be looking at, I don't know, Buzz Lightyear from Toy Story having, I don't know, 3 fingers in one drawing and 5 fingers in the other one because you forgot to draw one. In those situations, you can't allow a mistake there, okay? Feel free to ask any kind of question that you may have as well, art related or tools related, or I tried many things. I worked in many mediums as well, like traditional, digital, 3D, and in 3D modeling as well. Many kind of ways of working I have tried, okay, during the years, and I can just talk a little bit about all of them basically, and if you want to have more insights, okay, let's do this. If by any chance you are a teacher, art teacher, lecturer, looking at these videos, feel free as well to take some references and examples from here if you wanna do some of these exercises or some of these instructions that I explain here for your sessions as well. Feel free to, you know, take references and everything, and the more the merrier, you know, the more people learning about art, the merrier. I love it, and it is something that I think, in my opinion, it should have more relevance, because if you think about it, more relevance in schools and more relevance in universities in many aspects. If you think about any kind of aspect of your daily life, there is creativity connected there, there is a storytelling connected there, there is world building connected there, and I can give you as well some very easy examples. You finish your day, you go home, and you're gonna watch a movie. Someone like me, like you, had to do the drawing of that character, create that model, create those effects of the water. Even when you are watching a traditional movie, like it's with people, like what we call now live action, they use as well effects, they use props, they use scenarios, they use backgrounds, in opera, in theater, in cinema, all of these things that are more obvious, it is used, okay? But for anything in general, you will see art-related topics. Like, let's say that you want to buy a house, for example, you were saving some money for some time, and you want to buy a house, and you're going to be looking for houses, the design of the houses, the people who designed the houses, the architects, all of that is art as well. You can have different styles within that. The person who designed the website, if the website is more user-friendly and appealing and easy for you to handle, that is more good, is better for you, so you can actually navigate better and find what you need better. You wanna see a marketing for a product, you have a product and you wanna showcase it on TV or on internet. Someone needs to create like a brand, a logo and things for you, so you can sell it, so it's appealing for other people. So, you know, artists, concept artists, graphic designers, animators, there are 1,000 type of jobs that you can do. Teaching as well, obviously, teaching. You can do 1,000 type of jobs basically when you study art and when you are a creative person. And it doesn't mean because you are doing something else you cannot be creative, or because you are doing something else, you are maybe a lawyer, you cannot then decide to study art, okay? Because, oh my god, you know, art is everywhere, okay? And ideas for projects and ideas for marketing, let's say, or ideas for creativity are everywhere. So be mindful of those things. Or today, tomorrow, that you are walking around town, you know, moving or cycling here, going with the car there with the boss, or being at work, or anything. Just look around you. Look around you. Everything that you see. The table that you are sitting, the desk was designed by a designer. The computer was made as well by designers. How it's gonna look, okay? How it's gonna be inside, all the programming, all the art inside, how it's gonna look in the screen, the chairs, the sofas, the walls, everything around you is creativity. The shop in the corner with the distribution of the food, how it's gonna be distributed as well, how I'm gonna make this to sell more, for example, or to engage, to be more engaging, for example. There are art aspects in everything, okay? And sometimes for a normal person, random person who is not thinking about art, maybe it's like, oh yes, maybe, you know, the cartoons are made, or the video games are made by art people. But if you think about it, you know, you're an engineer. As an engineer, you can be working in a video games company, doing some developing stuff for them. You can be an architect as well for games like Assassin's Creed, for example, okay? And you are architect, you study architecture, but you end up using those skills in-game, okay? The other way around, it can work as well, okay? Because you studied computer games, for example, you can end up being an architect in a game. Okay, you are creating assets, you are creating buildings, like maybe with photogrammetry in reality, like from the Colosseum, from the many famous locations, for example, that you need to take photos and replicate in game, for example. Okay, so there are many ways of creating art nowadays. We are not limited to only traditional techniques. And if you think about it, sometimes even our eyes are tricked. We are watching something that it looks real, but it's made digitally. It's like an effect, for example, or an animal in a movie. Oh my god, this animal, it's like I can touch it and everything, like it's so realistic, but it is actually maybe not an animal. I have a friend who has done commercials, and you see the animals walking in the commercials. It will fool me. I will say that animal is so realistic that it could be like a real, I don't know, zebra or rhinoceros or whatever, crocodile, whatever it's gonna be. So you can do this exercise. It's not gonna take you time, you know, while you are on the bus, you are walking, just look around you, see the paintings on the walls, the doors, the design of the doors, for example, the design of your bed, for example, or your shelves, or any kind of book that you have around, or even your kitchen. Everything is valid there, okay? Very funny hands we have made today, but it is okay. It is okay. I don't want to do background, probably. I just want to do maybe like a muffled type of area like this, like we have some dark area around, because there's a lot of things going on in the forefront here. So I don't want to mix and start doing backgrounds or textures for the wall or anything, just like a plain dark color to focus, like, hey, this is the boss, don't get distracted with other things, this is the guy. Okay. In other drawings I have done background, I have done you know, things going on at the same time, things hanging from the wall like drawings and things, but for this one we do not want to do that. Only the questioning, the this is the guy, no? And this is like, actually no, that is not the guy, actually that is my guy, you know. So that is what we wanna do, okay? Thank you everyone for being here. I'm very happy with the channel. We are evolving a lot here. We are making a lot of videos. Well, I am making a lot of videos, and I'm happy to see the interactions. I'm happy to see people interested and people liking things and commenting things and sharing things. And I'm very happy that this is helping someone out there maybe to start drawing, that I know for sure that this is happening. And yeah, I hope you are enjoying as well as much as I am, and feel free to recommend, to say, oh, you know, I have a recommendation that you could read, watch. So if you like it, you can do drawings as well. Feel free, like a TV series that you like, a book that you like, a movie that you like, anything that you may like. I'm more than happy to explore and see. As well, if you wanna see your favorite character, I don't know, like I'm very fan of Bleach and I want you to draw I don't know, Ichigo, whatever, we can do those things as well. Okay, now I've been focused in Tales of Alethrion challenge this month. I have another project that I want to do for the month of December that we're starting in a couple of days. That's going to be very interesting as well. And then from January as well, we can start adding other things that I want to add. So we have more things, more variety of things in the channel, so you can actually see multiple things, learn about multiple things, and understand how different things are made, like in movies, in animation, in books, in comics, everywhere. Okay, thank you very much for being there. I'm gonna sign for today. This is DavidViadel23, DavidViadel23, you can say it as you want, and this is the Mandragon's Cave. I hope you enjoyed the video, enjoy the talk and the drawing, and feel free to share it with your friends, with your nakamas, with the travelers around, and like, subscribe, and all these things that they say here in YouTube, and see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye.